I am your humble host, Dave Smith, and this is Recency Bias Radio, where no one is safe from criticism. Both know Rachel dumb as shit, low key. But let's go ahead and talk about Wednesday night's episode first, ladies and gentlemen, okay? Because I took a little bit of notes on this. And one thing I will say is it is very interesting how production has decided to craft this week, considering all of the stuff that they omitted and withheld from us last week. Now, before I get too deep into this, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go to the feedback. Well, not the feedback, but I'm going to go to the... Okay, y'all can hear me, y'all can see me. I just wanted to make sure, because I hate getting into this. Yeah, what's popping, y'all? What's popping? I'm looking. All right. I just didn't want to, you know what I'm saying, get into the avatar state and then somebody tell me, hey, coach, it didn't count. You know what I'm saying? No one wants to play a game that don't count in regulation. But let's start off discussing Wednesday night, because there was a few things that I noticed in Wednesday night's episode that I think maybe could have went past your head a little bit. And you know, I was doing my rant during Wednesday night's episode. And did I lie to y'all? My Wednesday night rant by itself encapsulated Sunday, Wednesday, and Thursday completely. Okay? You know, if anything, it's getting to a point now where I edit their show for them. Just wait for my rant, goddammit. Well, if I would have did my rant on Monday, maybe they could have. You feel me? You feel me? But anyway, the first thing that I want to point out from Wednesday night's episode, ladies and gentlemen, pay attention to how fast production labeled Bailey as the angry black woman by the announcer guy saying, "Who'll be eaten alive by Queen Bey?" Now, call me crazy, but don't queen bees, don't they eat bees in the nest, in the honeycomb when they don't work well or something? Isn't there something with insects where the queen ends up eating some of her underlings? Isn't that a thing? So they're comparing Bailey, because of the Bey name, they're comparing it to a bee. And I don't like it when you compare any black person to an animal or an insect. So that part, read between the lines on that bullshit. And then they were calling her power hungry before the episode even started. Now, she is power hungry. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to defend her as if this shit ain't true. But at the same time, though, there are certain things that they will do overkill towards the person of color that they won't even scratch the surface with the white player. That's just something I have to go ahead and point out. Now, normally I'd be very mad about this, but this time they were telling the truth, so I'll let it ride. She gets so mad at Faisal for no reason, but doesn't get mad at Tyler at all. I mean, in the intro, they even showed that scene with her saying, "I look like a little bitch." You know, it's like, damn, they want her to look like, and see, someone said something very profound the other day. Maybe it was in the live chat on last night's rant. They said something to the effect of, "I'm getting a lot of Davon vibes out of Bailey." And you guys know, notoriously, I am the guy that always speaks on Davon's game and says, look, as a person, I don't have a problem with Davon. As a player, she is extremely flawed and very overrated. And frankly, because Bailey was coming into this game and she seemed like someone who could mingle better with white folks, I definitely gave her a higher trajectory than I ever gave Davon coming into the game in her season. Now, granted, I didn't have no rants at that time. But my point is, at the end of the day, Bailey, naturally, if you were to put her resume and Davon's resume on a piece of paper, you would definitely think Bailey has more tools to survive. But I tell you one thing, Davon wouldn't be dumb enough to reveal information about that twist that damn fast. She would have kept that in her holster a little bit longer. You know what I mean? So in some ways, we do have to respect Davon a little bit more because the comparison to Bailey is almost a disrespect right now, because we're all prisoners of the moment and we're all dealing with the game that Bailey created now. She's created this jury that we'll have to deal with now with Angela starting it off, you know? And my biggest concern, before I even get deep into Wednesday or Thursday night's episode, ladies and gentlemen, my biggest concern is that Bailey's not going to use her app on Angela's HOH. I think she's going to still be team girls because the guys schemed and kept Brett. So I think in the back of her mind, she might be willing to see one of her allies go, a Faisal or a Scotty. And she might not use her app twist at all, ladies and gentlemen. And we need to be prepared for this, because this isn't the end of Bailey, the train wreck game player story. This isn't the end of that narrative at all. In fact, tonight we're seeing Swaggy C visit her family, and I'm going to get into that. I'm going to unleash on that bullshit. I mean, that shit was some of the most awkward, cringy. I mean, it felt like we were watching an episode of The Bachelor, and they were at the final three. Didn't it feel like that? Didn't it feel like ABC funded that scene? I mean, it looked bad, man. But anyway, let me get back to Wednesday. Let me not Gatling gun shoot my load, okay? Because the screen's gonna be all fucked up. You know what I'm saying? So let's go a little slow. Let's slow burn this a little bit, coach. You feel me? And by the way, get your questions ready, ladies and gentlemen, because tonight I will be taking questions. Okay, now. Also, pay attention to how production made Faisal look bad for telling JC the truth. Faisal was the only person trying to keep him off the block. But notice how Bailey took that to an offense, And it's like, Bailey, all he's doing is letting his friend know, like, hey, okay, maybe it isn't the best move on Faisal's part to try to blackmail someone, because people could argue, well, this is no different than how Faisal has treated Haley after saving her. People can make that argument. They can. But at that same time, though, Haley hasn't changed anything about her game after Faisal saved her. Even though when she was on the block, she changed a lot about her game to make sure Faisal would save her. So clearly, there's something to Haley's game that is by design here. She's not no dumb girl that just wants to flirt with guys. This is all her strategy, okay? And honestly, I don't blame Faisal for reacting the way he did. But even in tonight's episode, they went out of their way to make Faisal look like a hater. They make him look like the guy that's stalking her, that won't let her have male friends. That's how they're positioning Faisal. But in reality, though, Faisal was talking to Rockstar, and he had a point to prove with that bullshit. But I don't want to get too deep in the Thursday episode yet. Let's say that right before questioning, okay? But yes, and see, Faisal knew. Well, JC knew that. Wait, did JC tell him that? No. Faisal knew that he was the main person helping JC stay off the block, mainly because Bailey let it come out of her mouth that he was the only person that was actually fighting to keep JC off the block. So Bailey gave him the information that he then relayed to JC to keep JC on the good side. Now, I get why Bailey's mad. She's looking at it from the perspective of, by letting JC know he almost went up, you are making it seem as if I don't like him, but you don't like him, Bailey. And it is quite personal. And JC, through confessionals, before Faisal even told him a thing, he already admitted that, hey, I know what I need to do. I need to talk that shit and play the game. Don't give her too many names, you know what I'm saying? And be smart about this. So we need to give JC his natural credit, because at the end of the day, he danced circles around Bailey. And the fact that he was able to flip that conversation with Faisal and admitted in the DR he's using that conversation to split up Bailey from Faisal, ingenious, masterclass. Because see, JC is doing it within the confines of the game, whereas Bailey is playing a little dirty, trying to use Faisal's upbringing and his need for companionship against him when it comes to Haley. So in reality, Bailey is trying to split up Faisal from Haley the same way Brett is trying to split up Faisal from Haley. But you notice, Brett is doing it in a much more subtle way. He's peeping the cues from Faisal, and he's peeping the cues from Haley that she don't really feel him like that. So as you can see, when a good player tries to do the exact same thing Bailey attempts to do, they have a higher success rate. And that's basically the point I want to drive home here, because we saw it on this episode. We saw it. Brett did exactly what Bailey has been doing, but the difference is Brett ain't lying to Faisal's face every second like, hey, I don't say nothing that we discuss. And let me break that down even further, because, I'll admit it, I didn't appreciate JC shitting on him for that when JC constantly reminds people what he did to help their game. That was a great move by JC. But Bailey is trying to cause this same crack between Faisal and Haley, and Bailey even told Faisal she doesn't share anything, and that was a clear lie, because she has gone out of her way. I talked about this in the last rant. She has gone out of her way to tell Casey about how Faisal is a spoiled brat just because he has a Caucasian mother. When you spread information like that, first off, that isn't even game-related information. That's personal information. That is information of you trying to prove yourself to the other side by giving them a bone, throwing them something they know they could never get from Faisal themselves, because Faisal knows they ain't shit. So you tell them that information, and that's really the biggest problem with Bailey's HOH in a nutshell. She's a leaky faucet. She doesn't know how to shut the water flow off and just let the shit move naturally. Okay, she's too much of a control freak. But we saw Bailey's house tonight in this edit. We saw her house tonight. So who is she to call anyone a spoiled brat? Did y'all see that house? That shit had pillars like we was watching a fucking Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Now, I'm not gonna shit on no brother. I ain't gonna shit on no sister for having money, okay? But at the same time, if you come from wealth, you are the last person that needs to be condescending towards another just because they may come from wealth. And at the end of the day, she's not even critiquing the wealth part. She's just kind of salty that this dude has a white mama for some reason. You know, and that's really where it's coming from. It's like, why are you hating so much on no one can choose who their parent is, Bailey. You feel me? And that's my problem. Casey has a white dad. You're not saying she came up a certain type of way because you like this girl, this beast mode cowgirl. You like her. So having a white parent and a different race parent isn't a bad thing for Casey. But for Faisal, that makes him spoiled. That's very interesting. That's very telling. And that's exactly why, ladies and gentlemen, even though Angela was part of the betrayal of Rachel, I fully expect Angela to do everything she needs to do to get Bailey to not want to use this power app. And what better way to do that than to blame this vote on Scotty? I fully expect Angela and KC to be ready and prepared to blame Faisal and Scotty for this, saying the men all came together. They what were we supposed to do? We didn't vote her out. I fully expect that to be their alibi, you know, because notice, as soon as Rachel walked out that door, by the way, Rachel, one of the funniest exit interviews I have ever seen. You stormed out of that bitch faster than Cody did last season. You deserve an ovation. Bro, she was out that bitch, boy. Damn. Boy, it's almost like if you ever been to Chicago, she was out that bitch faster than a motherfucker that just grabbed a half white from Harold's. I'm being real with you. A 10-piece dark. You feel me? She was out that jam. Okay? Like real talk. Okay? She had moves to make. Boy, she was salty, wasn't she? You know, but let me not get in too deep into Thursday. But see, this is a real freestyle rant. This is an OG rant right here. Y'all can tell I'm not too deep into these notes because I've already explained the whole week. You feel me? So I'm in my zen right now, where at any moment I can go back to these notes, but I don't really got to because I'm feeling it. But anyway, this once again shows the hypocrisy in Bailey's game, ladies and gentlemen. JC has been talking circles around Bailey this whole week, and this situation proved it whole line and sinker. The reason why this situation proves it is because of his confessional work. See, I was waiting for Bailey's confessional work to show some form of self-awareness, but all we keep getting from her is, this week is going to go exactly how I want it to because I'm Bailey. I'm the queen. They'll do exactly what I say. You know, Tyler doesn't use the video. First thing comes out of my, I love you. Like, what the fuck is this shit? I'm over here watching the feeds from yesterday, just trying to get filled in on something if it may have went down on Wednesday, because I'm looking at Twitter and people are saying all of this shit about Bailey being mean and stuff. So I'm assuming this is on feeds, not on the actual edit, right? So I'm on feeds just looking around, and Bailey, they're all in the bathroom. It's like Bailey, Casey, Angela, I don't know who else was in that bathroom, maybe Sam, but it didn't feel like anyone from her side was in that bathroom. Well, basically, Tyler walks past, first thing come out of Bailey's mouth, sound thirsty as shit. Tyler is so fine. Oh my God. And it's so funny. Like, what? You know what I'm saying? Like, just pure dick riding for no reason, coach. You know what I'm saying? Like, this isn't even social game. This is you legitimately kissing the ground this guy walks on his way to the bathroom to take a piss. You know what I mean? Like, what the hell is this shit? You know, and I forgot what else she said right after. Oh, and she even revealed to the other side of the house she has a photographic memory. Why are you revealing that? I mean, her family doubled down on it, at least on tonight's episode, and admitted she had one. But my whole thing is, why is that something you would share with anyone in the game? Because if they're in your alliance, if you want to go to the end with these people, they're going to remember, oh, she said she has a photographic memory. Let's get rid of her before the final four. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how E and Terry yoked people to death. Because those competitions towards the end of the game are a lot of memory based. They're based off of all of the time you spend in the house, all of the house guests you've come across, you know, all of their likes and dislikes. All those things matter, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so for her to go out of her way to volunteer information like I have photographic memory, terrible gameplay. Terrible gameplay, okay? But it was necessary for me to mention that, though. But yeah, I mean, it's just crazy, man. It's just crazy, all right? Now, also notice how Bailey said Faisal blows up and takes things out of proportion. And notice how the music changed as soon as he said that. Production is laughing at you now. which is why I was so blindsided, more blindsided than you probably are right now, Bailey. I was blindsided to hell and back when I saw Swaggy C visiting her parents. What is this? That all but confirmed, ladies and gentlemen, that Bailey must be pregnant with some type of a big brother baby. I think that confirmed it because it doesn't make sense otherwise. It really doesn't. I've never seen an evicted house guest who's supposed to be in the ordinary world, by the way. They're not supposed to be still sequestered. If you were the second person evicted, you're not supposed to be still in sequester. So how is production able to get a hold of you to take you somewhere? See, people kept telling me, Swaggy isn't in sequester, Dave. He's in sequester. He's back at the trap, Dave. He's back at his crib, Dave. That's what everybody kept telling me. But I'm like, you know what? This brother's being way too politically correct to be all the way stripped or separated from production. There's something here. So when this went down tonight, I wasn't shocked at all, ladies and gentlemen, because it finally made sense why Swaggy has been so politically correct. See, my take basically was he has to be politically correct. That way he doesn't ruin his own stipend. That way he can have the money. That way he can move to California with Bailey, most likely. Well, now that we've seen this scene on tonight's episode, oh, that solidifies my take 100%. And now they are almost trying to position them maybe after the pregnancy to be an amazing race team. Maybe, maybe not. I think they definitely have Cody and Jessica upside, but it won't be rigged for the black folks. Let's be honest. But yeah, that's neither here nor there. I almost accidentally watched an Amazing Race episode earlier too. I was on CBS All Access and they just like I'm watching Wednesday's episode today, and then right after that, it goes immediately to like Amazing Race season 30, episode 1, and I was like, "What the fuck? What is this shit?" And then I realized it was Cody and Jessica season. It was pretty funny, but yeah. I just didn't understand Bailey. I think she comes off very hypocritical when she talks down to Faisal because Faisal, she says he blows up, but really his version of blowing up is walking and pacing. He doesn't raise his voice. He doesn't really give you any Willie Hands vibes. I'll put it that way, right? He doesn't give you a vibe that he'll just run up and steal you, right? Faisal is constantly thinking about business opportunities outside of this game, so he'll never ruin those to fight someone. So, but my point is, Bailey tells him he blows up and takes things out of proportion, but that is her. That is your HOH 100%, Bailey. I would love for you to hear yourself talking to someone. That way you could take that advice for your own. But since you're the queen, you answer to no one, I guess, you know. But yes, the production is definitely laughing at Bailey's gameplay here by making the music change every time she says something that is overly ironic. Okay. Then when Rachel just confides in Bailey on how bad of a situation she's in, Bailey decides to talk about her own situation being worse. But Bailey, you're in the HOH. You're safe this week. You've already admitted to her you have a power app. How the hell can your situation be worse than Rachel's? See, this level of selfishness, this level of narrow-mindedness, this lack of empathy for other people is the reason why no one can win the game playing this way, Bailey. They can't, okay? Daniel Reyes. I wish every black woman that is sequestered before the season, I wish they could watch Danielle Reyes play. Fuck these other seasons. Let them watch someone that showed them that can show them the blueprint on how to succeed with their skin tone. Stop showing them these other seasons with these black women out here that are just caping for these white men, because that's what they're going to end up doing halfway through the game. Case in point. Okay. You know, and in tonight's episode, Tyler, all of a sudden, he's ready to take off the mask and show the real him. He said, "Oh, I can't wait to get rid of Bailey." So all of you swirlers and all of you Taylor, all of you Tylee or Baylor, all of you thirsty motherfuckers is hashtagging all that shit. I guess he put an end to all of that suspense, didn't he? He put an end to all of that speculation, didn't he? He ain't into her like that, coach. He ain't really into her like that at this point. You know what I'm saying? Now, I argue, even if she wouldn't have chose Swaggy, he would have still had his eyes on the prize more than her. I think Tyler, at this point, I'm starting to get him a little bit more. He's on a business trip. He's on a business trip, coach. You feel me? But yeah, so this is that selfish shit I spoke on last night. What corner did Rachel push her in? Did you notice how when Rachel's talking to her, Bailey says, "Well, imagine how I feel. I feel like I'm in a corner right now." Like what? Huh? Like, this girl is crying because she's on the block, and you're saying you feel cornered because she would like to talk about her feelings with you when she's supposed to be your pawn? I mean, when you ask for someone to volunteer to be a pawn, Bailey, it is your job to emotionally support them throughout the week. That almost comes with the territory each time, But see, this is the mindset of someone who hasn't watched more than 3 seasons. I truly don't believe Bailey is really, and when you think about it, because she grew up in such a wealthy place, wealthy area, I highly doubt she had time as a kid to watch this show. And shout outs to Raven. Raven gave us some good tea a week ago, and who would have thought we would have actually saw it come to some fruition this week? You know what I'm saying? I am so glad she was on last week, and Brandon as well. I am so glad you two were on, mainly because we set the table for this. So all the people who have been watching this channel, we go into this episode and we're just looking for the mansion. Like, you feel me? Like when they showed the little thing before commercial break with Swaggy in front of that mirror, I legit thought, I was like, is he really in front of their house right now doing that? And that was very awkward. They made Swaggy do a lot of dumb shit. The whole shakeup with Bailey's dad looked a little weird. He's like, hey, bro. Like, I was like, you call your future father-in-law, bro? Like, for them to make this brother wear Swaggy C gear to meet Bailey's family for the first time, I thought that was a higher level of cooning that I thought Swaggy would never take part in if there wasn't Big Brother trying to fund the experience. I definitely believe Swaggy would have had more common sense to go to the woman who could be the mother of his child's house to meet her family for the first time and to just wear Swaggy C gear. I mean, I would have appreciated Swaley gear on him a little bit more than Swaggy C gear, but that goes to show you Big Brother may have never cleared that Swaley shit. Okay, before the season. Maybe these clothes have to be cleared, and maybe they could only have Swaggy on camera on one of their episodes rocking gear that they already cleared him to wear. Maybe that's what it is. You feel me? Because I'm pretty sure Swaggy would have definitely much rather, because see, that was his moment to advertise the Swaley shirts too. So clearly CBS and Big Brother talked him off the ledge, and I don't even think it's a ledge per se, but clearly they told him, oh no Swaley gear. No Swaley gear. We'll let you meet her family, and we'll act like we've always supported you in her relationship, even though we haven't when you were in the game. We even made your edits look really dumb, and we're making your girl look even dumber now that you're gone. You know what I'm saying? So they don't give a fuck about y'all relationship. So that explains why they wouldn't let you rock the Swaley shirts. They don't want y'all to last. They showed this on TV the week Bailey has been dragged through the mud in the edit on purpose because they want people to. I think they did this on purpose to dog whistle to the racist market that watches this game that already probably hates Swaggy, right? That probably is a little bit iffy on Bailey, but after the JC thing, they're kind of like, oh, we don't really like her either. I think they did what they did on purpose. They showed the outside of Bailey's house on purpose by design. They showed them in the living room, very expensive furniture by design. They showed them in the kitchen, very nice looking interior by design. All of these things are done on purpose to subliminally give us the messaging that Bailey don't need the money from this game. That's what that's for, 100%. Now, I know what you're thinking. Well, Dave, when they went back and showed Paul's family, they definitely showed how well off they were. You have a point there. But Paul wasn't in a fucking showman's. And he didn't have... He didn't have Bronte showing up to his fucking mansion without him. Like, hey, he didn't have that shit going down in 18. You feel it, dig me? He didn't have Christmas Rousey showing up in a fucking wheelchair to his mansion. Like, what's popping, Dead Skull? What's popping? He didn't have that. Okay, so all in all, it's some bullshit going down, and it's up to me to decode the Matrix. Okay, even though I don't agree with Bailey's game, I will still defend what I saw. Well, I will defend against what I saw tonight. But let's continue with Wednesday. We slow burning the shit out of this, coach. You really dig me? All right, but yeah, so Rachel confides in her. I'm talking about Bailey, on how bad of a situation she's in, and Bailey decides to talk about her situation being worse. This is that selfish shit I spoke on last night. What corner did Rachel push her in? All she did was vent to Bailey about Brett, who as early as Thursday, remember this, Bailey was telling Faisal she didn't want to nominate Brett next to Rachel because they were a possible showmance. So Bailey, who are you to be the person now that both of them are on the block when you were apprehensive about putting them up in the first place? Who are you the person now that they're on the block and Rachel is worried about the guy she could have had that showmans with? Who are you to tell her, stop thinking about Brett? Stop worrying about him. Now, I agree she should worry more about her game, But that's like saying if you were on the block next to Swaggy, that would be like trying to think. That would be like Casey being HOH, right? Someone who has a good relationship with you, but not necessarily your man, right? The same way she has a relationship with her and not necessarily her man, right? So that would be like Casey winning HOH, putting you up next to Swaggy to make sure Swaggy leaves and then telling you, stop worrying about Swaggy. You know, now granted, you guys are much closer than Brett and Rachel are. And Brett has even voiced that he don't really feel Rachel like that. And Rachel has voiced she thinks she could be being played by him. But that's not the point. The point is you looked at them as possibly another Swaggy and Bailey, another Swaley. So for you to go out of your way to tell her to stop thinking about Brett is hypocritical to the highest level, because up to this point, as early as Thursday night, you were acting like you supported both of them. Even though you didn't like Brett, you made it seem like you still cared about the future of their relationship. So I'm gonna call bullshit on that as well. Okay. Now, yeah, I pretty much answered that. Now, notice how they put Swaggy's picture right next to Caitlin's on purpose during the veto comp. Did y'all peep that? Swaggy was the second person evicted. Steve was first. So someone please explain to me how Winston was on the far left, Steve was second, Swaggy was third, and Caitlin was fourth. They did that on purpose for the optics. They did it on purpose for the optics. Little things like that. Done on purpose. Now, it's not a big deal strategically. It's not a big deal. It didn't really affect the competition. But this is something that I noticed subtly. The symbolism of it is a lot, because both of them would still be in the game if Caitlin would have never targeted Swaggy. So it just goes to show that's why they lumped them two together. And Winston is low-key very responsible for Steve going home. So it makes sense why they would lump those two over there and those two over here, because they kind of have a synergized relationship, the two duos with each other. But yeah, so I got to give Brett his credit here. Okay. I am slowly but surely growing on Brett even more. When Brett is not around Winston, it's hard not to like this guy's gameplay. It is difficult not. The dude rarely spoke to anyone this week, really. Like people have been avoiding him like the plague. Now, granted, they've been avoiding Rachel like the plague too. But him just being cool, calm, and collected under this ostracization that's going on, you know, it showed how great of a player this guy truly is. I mean, he came up with the speech. He was practicing it earlier today. I mean, so many people was like, please let Brett go first. Please let him go first, because then Rachel will go she will go off even more if she goes second. You know, we were rooting for these things. But of course, Big Brother made sure Rachel went first. Of course. But, you know, if they truly cared about their production's pet, they would have let her go on second, you know. So it goes to show there's levels to this shit. They're not willing to risk Tyler's game for you, Rachel. Okay? That's really what it comes down to. But yeah, I got to give him credit here during this veto comp, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, he got maybe one of the greatest competition edits I have ever seen. In terms of confessionals to explain the thought process, I thought it was a masterclass on his part. His explanation of the pieces and his reason for choosing the right route was very impressive. This guy looks like he can win the game and explain why he deserves to win the best in the house. I mean, we saw his speech earlier today. I mean, he is showing that on a speaker level, he is Dr. Will tier on a speaker level, because he has this don't give a fuckness about him. But he also has an intellect that goes with it, just like Dr. Will. Now, I'm not calling him Dr. Will, okay? I'm not saying that. But his ability to speak in front of an audience full of sharks, his ability to do it and do it so well, not really stumble over his words. He doesn't really stutter. He stays very calm. He's in no rush. You feel me? And when you're not in a rush to say something, it makes it sound more truthful. Okay, because it sounds like you've got nothing to lose and you're going to say this as slowly as possible. That way you don't have to repeat yourself. I got to give this guy credit. Now, to get back to Wednesday's episode, though, I mean, I don't buy that Tyler was 4 or 5 minutes in front of Brett's time. I don't buy it at all, because Brett had a strategy set up to where he would have been much farther than Tyler was. Because remember, Tyler fucked up towards the beginning, then went around towards the end. Brett fucked up really at the end, but the majority of his shit was still set up to succeed. He really just had to go up a different path. But all in all, though, he made up way faster time. At least the edit made it look like he was much, much faster than Tyler. To be honest with y'all, I wouldn't be shocked if Brett actually won this veto. They swapped the times of Tyler and Brett on purpose. That way Tyler had the power and there was no chance of Brett taking himself off, forcing Bailey to maybe be in a position to backdoor Tyler. I think they didn't want that opportunity to be even presented to Bailey, because Bailey is a player that has shown several of us that she doesn't play a game that is logical. And when you're playing with people that don't play logically, they're unpredictable. And that unpredictability, see, it's funny. People don't like Scotty because he's unpredictable in a different way. He's unpredictable in a way that he isn't emotional, but he has all the logic in the world. He's damn near Tyler and Brett tier in logic, right? And I definitely would see, this is why I'm rooting for a guy to win at this point, because I truly feel like Tyler, Brett, or Scotty deserves to win. If anyone else wins at this point, you could have sold me on Rachel winning if she survived this week somehow. You could have sold me on it, but I would have been against it, though, because she's a production's pet. I mean, but when you really look at it, who else besides Tyler, Brett, and Scotty deserves to win this game? Everyone else, and I'm not trying to shit on my brother Faisal, but he don't deserve to win it over Scotty, over Brett, or Tyler. He doesn't. I'm going to be honest. Does Haley deserve to win over those three? Hell no. Does Rockstar? Hell no. Does Bailey? Of course not. Does does Angela at this point? Maybe if she has a masterclass HOH and is able to create some positive momentum, but I mean, that's down the line. She's really done nothing to this point either. You know, and Casey, I mean, what have you done? You know what I'm saying? And did y'all peep how she was the first one out on this HOH? On a question that involved a meme / GIF that had her in it with Bailey. And that's what made the whole house laugh so hard. But my thing is, Casey, you're very lucky that Angela won this HOH, because everyone would be talking about you throwing this HOH right after your best friend or one of your best friends just left the game. That looks very skeptical. If I'm a great sound game player, I'm thinking she definitely voted out her friend because she's throwing this HOH. If she would have never voted out her friend and this was truly a blindside to Casey, she would have been fighting as hard as possible to win this HOH. See, that's the natural psychology of how things work. So by Angela winning this, now that throw of it can be swept under the rug. And frankly, if I'm Angela, I would be mad at Casey for throwing this too, because that left all of the pressure of winning it solely on her plate. Now, she may think that she's still working well with Tyler. She may also think she's still working well with Brett, because they did save Brett, right? But at the same time, though, I don't know, Angela. If you were that quick to turn on Rachel when she was your girl, if I'm Brett and Tyler, you'll do the same thing to me. Shit, if I'm Casey, you'll do the same thing to me. And that's why Casey has her evacuation plan with Bailey. Too bad Bailey can't hold her weight to make sure Casey can land properly when she goes ahead and evacuates. But that's neither here nor there. But one thing I want to point out, ladies and gentlemen, remember the previous time comp. Remember I brought up how Tyler, he's just swept everybody. He went last on the edit, but they made sure his time was in the middle. That way they didn't expose him as some huge comp beast at the time. All right. Notice how this time Tyler went second, but they made his time go last this time. Whereas last time there was a time veto comp. They showed Tyler going last, but showed his score in the middle. I think production made a mistake letting his time be revealed last here, because it may have painted a bigger target on him. And I think they may have forgotten what they did earlier in the season to protect him in their haste. You know, in their haste maybe to edit this show, in their haste maybe to have an entertaining Wednesday night episode, they may have made a bigger target put on Tyler in the first place. And now that Tyler has orchestrated this blindside, a lot of people are feeling like Tyler's game could get exposed very fast. But because Angela wins HOH, he gets another free week to be able to be like, Bailey, I didn't know. I didn't really know. You feel it, Digby? He gets to say that again. JC gets to say that again. And we're back at square one all over again. Tyler gets his way in every vote, even when it's a lose-lose situation. He gets his way. You feel me? But yeah, I definitely think Brett was faster in that comp, though. I think that was rigged to go to Tyler. If you truly watch what happens, it doesn't look like Tyler was moving at this frantic pace that Brett wasn't. Brett had a confessional that made it sound like he had a better strategy. And all in all, Brett really only made one mistake by going down one road. But by then, he was already done with 60% of the comp. Whereas when Tyler made his mistake, he was only, 10% in? So, and I think Tyler made two mistakes, by the way. So that's my thing. So that's just something to notice. That's just something to notice, because production had no incentive to make sure a nominee won that HOA. I mean, that veto. Even Rachel. because they wanted Brett to go over her to keep all their pets. Well, anyway, another thing. Peep game on how the music also changed when Bailey rolled her eyes to Rachel crying. Did y'all notice this? Bailey, why would you do that? You know. Okay, I've said she probably didn't watch that many seasons. Okay, so I'm going to give her that benefit of doubt. But at the same time, if she's going to be the person to admit that Caitlyn only targets Swaggy because he's a black man, I think she should be woke enough to understand that when she's hugging a white woman that is applying the white girl crying strategy, it isn't very sound gameplay to the casual audience to roll your eyes, especially when you cry a lot. You know what I'm saying? And that's really the biggest hypocrisy in all of this, Bailey. If you didn't cry a lot, I wouldn't mind this. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't mind it. But because you do, you come off very, very bad. Very, very bad. I'm watching this Wednesday episode. I'm like, damn, what? Shit, this is a ruthless edit. Like, I had to come on Twitter and be like, this episode is ruthless. Like, but hey, I want complete transparency. I just want production to show complete transparency when the HOH is in black. You feel me, production? So even though I'll give you credit for telling the truth this time, I can't help but notice you only tell the truth when there's a black person to throw under the bus. And that's the problem we need to address. But I'm going to keep it moving, though. But yeah, so Bailey can't be the person who cries and then rolls her eyes at others that do. Also, peep how they showed that flashback of Tyler immediately. Remember how Bailey was telling Rachel the thing? Rachel's laying down. Bailey's kind of rubbing her. And she's telling her, you know, Tyler, he said he would use veto if I put up Angela. Okay. And remember how in the last rant, I specifically told y'all Tyler did not say that. He basically asked her, if you use veto, is Angela going up? He wanted to make sure that if it isn't Scotty, I won't use it. And he even voiced that in the confessional. So I'm on point completely with that last rant. But here's my thing. Remember what I brought up when Bailey had that argument with JC? Remember how I mentioned how it would have took no time at all for production to just insert a 3-second clip of what Bailey said to JC, disproving him saying that she called him a faggot? Remember that? Well, why when Bailey is talking to Rachel and she says something that isn't true about Tyler, why were they so quick to show a 3-second clip of Tyler re-saying what he said? If I use veto, is Angela going up? You know, you see what I'm saying? They show that on purpose to reaffirm that Tyler isn't a bad guy. Bailey's a liar. You feel what I'm saying? But they needed to show that to provide context as to why Angela started to separate from Rachel. But also notice, did y'all peep game how they didn't show Rachel telling Angela Bailey's secret until after Angela already had a confessional that she turned on Rachel? That's not how it happened in chronological order, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, that is them trying to rush the edit a bit to make sense out of why all of these things happened. But no. They made it seem like all of that shit happened before the veto ceremony. All of that shit did happen before the veto ceremony. But when Rachel told Angela about Bailey's app, that was well before Rachel ever told Tyler about Bailey's app. But notice in the edit, they made it seem like they happened back to back. That's a false truth. That's fake. Okay, that's really fake. Okay, it took a lot of time. Anyone that watched these knows that there was tons of hours in between a lot of this shit that went down. But yeah, but I just want to point that out. They're so quick to find a 3-second clip to validate Tyler and his strategy. But when Bailey was going at it with JC, they couldn't give Bailey that same luxury, you know. But once again, this is the same production crew that protected Rachel and Angela. And now that Rachel is out this game, we need to not be sorry for her. We need to give her that energy for that ghetto complexion shit. Let's not forget about this shit all of a sudden now. No. The boycott must continue and this smoke must keep flowing. You feel it, dig me? So we need to remind her, like, oh yeah, your game is over. And, you know, we can give her a night. We can give her a night to drink herself to sleep and stuff like that. But first thing tomorrow, we need to remind her, oh, no. You know how they say in Game of Thrones, the North remembers? Black Twitter remembers. We don't forget, coach. You know, we might forgive, but we don't forget, coach. All right. But yeah, I thought that was very interesting, that whole 3-second excerpt that they shoved in there, but they couldn't do the same thing for Bailey. This is important because it once again shows how they pick and choose who to reveal as truthful to the casual audience. Okay, and in tonight's episode, you saw Sam wearing Tyler's little American flag headband. You feel me? JC talking about love your pets. I'm like, JC, what are you talking about? So when he votes one person out, it's support our troops. Then he comes back and says, love your pets. He is legitimately trying to placate everybody in conservative America at this point. You feel it, dig me? Like, he knows where his bread is buttered. He knows, okay? But that's all I got to say about that. Let me keep on Wednesday. By the way, don't forget to have your questions coming in case some new people have joined the chat and you don't know yet. I will be taking questions, ladies and gentlemen. Why hasn't this edit shown Rachel telling Angela about Bailey's app twist yet? Now, this is how I was thinking chronologically into Wednesday night's episode. So I'm going to get into the point that I was trying to make, but it's weird they haven't revealed this because it would explain why Angela would believe Rachel at first over Tyler. Because if you saw it on the episode, she did believe Rachel at first over Tyler. And actually, Angela was pissed at Tyler. Heated for a long time. It took Casey to diffuse that a bit. Okay, because Casey is a Tyler dick rider. And I think she's the one influencing Bailey to be a Tyler dick rider by keep telling her, he never would target you. So, that's, all right, it is what it is, but that's what it is. Now, that secret is what made her believe Rachel, the same way that same secret made Rachel believe Bailey. Production omitting this from the edit at this specific time was a bad decision because all context is needed when an HOH week is this poor, okay? And did you also peep how fast they showed Angela turn on Rachel? It didn't happen this fast in real time, especially before the veto ceremony. But then they showed it right after Angela already threw Rachel under the bus. That way they could segue right to her telling Tyler about the app. It doesn't make that much of a difference, I know, but changing the order of events makes Angela look like a better player than she is, while also making Bailey and Rachel look like worse of a players than they actually are, which I'm only shocked by because Rachel is production's pet, by the way. But it feels like she had to go in order for Tyler and Sam to thrive in this game, just like how Shannon Elizabeth had to go in Celebrity Big Brother in order for Ross Matthews and Marissa Jared Winokur to survive, to thrive, to flourish. You feel it, dig me? And by the way, I have heard that Celebrity Big Brother will be returning. That's what's up. You guys had a good inaugural season. You deserve to come back. I just hope you don't bring Meta World Peace to represent the black man again. Don't bring that guy back. Bring someone who's actually a gamer. Technically, I guess because I have a YouTube channel, I guess I could count for a public figure. Put me on Celebrity Big Brother. I'll be the one motherfucker that's on that bitch they do not recognize. But boy, it would be fun, wouldn't it, to see me dance around these celebrities? Ooh, they might get me shot after the game, though. But no, though, that would be lit as fuck, though. We need to start a hashtag. RBR for Celebrity BB. You feel me? Like, let's go, man. Let's get it popping. I'm really joking. I'm being facetious, but still, though, it would be lit, though. Y'all know it would be. You feel it, dig me? Because at this point, I'm scared to be on BB21. I'm scared. You know what I'm saying? This fuckery that's going on. Nah, let me stop. Now, also pay attention to production showing how Bailey's cocky confessional at the end of Wednesday night's episode. This is important to mention. She said, she's having the smoothest HOH so far. Bailey, were you in a coma during Scotty's HOH? What the fuck is going on? What the hell are you talking about? The smoothest? Scotty won the veto in his week and the HOH. That's the smoothest. And he had a master class. And he didn't turn on anyone. And he didn't give no pertinent information on any of y'all to the other side that could have ruined your chances of flipping later, Bailey. So I think you need to put some respect on Scotty's name and game. You keep talking about how he's a diabolical genius, an evil genius. You know what I'm saying? How about you start calling him just a genius? If he's on your side, why do you keep calling him evil? Eventually, man, Scotty gonna figure out what's going on and he gonna fuck some shit up. But I'm worried for Scotty, man. I'm really worried for him this week because Bailey wants him and Faisal gone. To have the men gone. So she does not have any incentive to use this app tonight, unfortunately, this week, ladies and gentlemen. Now, if she decides to use it based off what happened to Rachel, we'll have to bam just to say that she used it. Now she's no longer this huge target because Brett put a massive one on her tonight. There's no way she could deny this shit because the majority of the house already knew about it before he even made the damn speech. Okay. Bailey just didn't know the majority of the house knew about it yet. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, word's gonna get around. You know, that's why I can't wait to see these feeds tonight, because I have a feeling Bailey's gonna have some explaining to do. But yeah, so you know, and she basically said she's gonna have the smoothest HOH so far because she thinks Brett is going home. They are setting her up for a massive fail. And did you notice on Thursday's episode, it's almost like they made Bailey's HOH week for people to binge. Why am I saying this? Peep game on Bailey's last confessional on Wednesday, then peep game on her first confessional on Thursday. It almost feels like a continuation of the same DR session. Why am I saying this? Because when Bailey starts talking at the start of tonight's episode, the first thing that comes out of her mouth is basically she basically says something like, everyone is going to do what I say this week, and it's going to go my way because I'm the queen. You know, it's almost like that was what she said in the soundbite right after saying she's having the smoothest HOH weeks so far in the game. So I thought that was interesting to note, because this shows, once again, production don't mind throwing no one under the bus, coach. All right. Peep game on how Tyler said, I don't trust Bailey. I'll put her up so fast. Finally, he has put to bed through confessional all the nicelings he had to say about Bailey and starts to show his true colors. I already mentioned that, but it's something I want to mention one more time. And get your questions ready, ladies and gentlemen, because we're very close. Brett is already thinking of how to use Bailey's advantage against her, and he's even thought of a way to cause a crack between Faisal and Haley better than Bailey could. So right now, if I'm being honest with you, and shout outs to Raven, by the way, she has like a Hall of Fame tweet right now on Twitter. She said something to the effect of, if he keeps blindsiding Faute, it will lead to Faute having the majority of the jury because they'll have 5 votes. If they vote together, there's no way Tyler wins the game because they'll be better. And I was like, wow. Great analysis there. That's why she's an RBR panelist. You feel it, dig me? But you know, to see that though, I was like, yeah, man, it's good to see people I rock with getting some notoriety, getting some recognition. I love seeing it. But she's right though. She's right. Brett will beat Tyler at the end if Tyler keeps playing this shit. If he keeps playing this way. See, Brett is the shiesty guy who's honest about himself being shiesty. Tyler is the shiesty guy that keeps trying to be your best friend as he stabs you in the back. That guy usually always loses the game because more people, just like with Paul, they feel like, what was the point of you doing that? That, like, real talk, more people look at gameplay as, okay, did he do this because it was necessary to get me out? Usually the people who think logically like this are rarely ever bitter. But then when they think logically and realize he did this and it was overkill, it wasn't necessary, that's when people start to develop some legit hate for you, because they realize there must be some legit hate inside of you towards them to be able to hit them over the head so hard with the petty shit. You feel it, dig me? But yeah, that's something I wanted to mention right there. But another thing, let's go ahead and just talk about this Swaggy C shit now. You know what I'm saying? I've been pushing this shit back for a minute, okay? I've been speaking on it here and there, but why are they showing Swaggy C visit Bailey's family when they never supported this couple in the house? That is the $1 million question. Why now? If she isn't pregnant, why now? I don't get it. I don't get it. Do they think maybe they recorded this a week or two ago? Maybe they had this in their holster to show at some point. Maybe they're worried that Bailey had such a bad HOH that she won't last for long in this game. Maybe they showed that in a rush. You feel me? But to be honest with you, didn't they show Sam's family during her HOH as well? I believe they did. Didn't they? I think so. So maybe this is a new trend that they're setting this week, that if you win an HOH, and they want to show off your family for some reason here or there, maybe they'll just do it when you're HOH now. But it used to be they would show your family at any moment, like, or if you were about to go home, they would show your family. Now it doesn't even matter if you're on the block, they show your family. They continuously disrespect this brother Swaggy in the edit with little shit. You know what I'm saying? Even when they cut to Bailey talking about her life and her family, did you notice how every single jump cut that went to Bailey talking about her life, none of those clips were clips with her and Swaggy talking about life? That shows you that production doesn't support their relationship. But maybe they wanted to make Swaggy C look like a damn fool walking into her mansion rocking his own gear. Maybe they just wanted to further embarrass this brother. You feel it, dig me? I don't know. But I thought it was interesting how every single time they cut to Bailey after they showed her family, it was always her talking one-on-one to Casey. Did y'all notice that? And did y'all notice that Bailey was talking about how, oh, my daddy's a simple guy. He just wants to golf and he lets my mom do whatever she wants. You know what I'm saying? As long as he can golf, woo out the bam. You know, and when I first heard that, before I even saw the mention, I said, oh, he must have money. Golf is one of those sports that only the affluent play. I don't know too many brothers from the hood that play golf. You know what I'm saying? It's an expensive sport to keep up with. I mean, you lose your fucking ball as soon as you hit it. I mean, it is what it is. I'm just being honest. I mean, most people with golf club memberships. I mean, where I'm from, if you live near a golf course, you probably live in a gated community. Where I'm from, you know what I'm saying? But that's neither here nor there. But yeah, I thought it was very interesting how they wouldn't show any clips of Swaggy and Bailey having a good time together, but they show her talking about all this information that shouldn't be told to Casey. You see what I'm saying? That's by design. They're letting us know subtly that they don't support this relationship, but they've been throwing Bailey under the bus for 2 straight weeks now. So they're trying to act like they support it by showing Swaggy walk. But that's exactly why I think there must be a big brother baby at play here. There must be. Otherwise, this doesn't make sense at all. So, but yeah, 100%. But yeah, I didn't appreciate that shit with Casey. But did you guys also notice when she said she always pictured herself? This is Bailey talking to Casey. She said, I've always pictured myself with a sweet, quiet man. Did y'all peep Casey's reaction? She looked mad as shit low key. Why was the only word she said back to her was, right. She didn't say shit. You feel me? Like, that's one of those things where you're getting curved live on television and you just say, true. Right. You know, it's almost like you want to keep her talking. That way she doesn't fixate on men because that's not your thing. You know, Casey was a little salty right there. That was the moment she realized, oh, I'm fighting an uphill battle. She probably said that shit to her while Swaggy was in the house, too, by the way. I don't remember seeing that conversation on feeds, really. So I wouldn't hold it past production to actually show us a clip of when Swaggy was still in the game, but show Bailey exclusively talking to Casey. That way you don't show black love like that. I wouldn't hold it past these people. That's me being honest. Casey was definitely salty when Bailey said that. And by Bailey saying that, though, she also implied to Casey that her parents don't want her on some lesbian shit. Her parents want her with a man. And I think that rubbed Casey off a little the wrong way, too. So I think that's funny because her dad don't want her with a woman, Casey. So you can go ahead and take this fat L. Eliminated from battle. I mean, it's almost like production didn't want her to show any part of her life. You know what I'm saying? Any real part of her life in this situation. I mean, they showed her sisters. Her sisters appear to be really cool. Her parents seem to be cool. They seem to be stand-up people. I really don't have no problem with her people. I just didn't like how you had to show Swaggy visiting them in order to show these black folks. Because we don't get to see many black family visits. Let's be honest here. So clearly they only did it this time because they had Swaggy on their payroll. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Swaggy, go visit her family for us. You know, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. But I definitely think there's a big brother baby on the horizon because I just don't think they would edit her to look this bad and then show a family visit. Usually when you show a family visit, it's of someone big brother in production likes, like they did for Sam. Notice Sam's family visit, they had them in a bar, they had them in a house, they had them in a lot of places, coach. Bailey's family, we're only going to showcase them living in this mansion. You feel me? They didn't want to show any part of their personality, really. They just wanted to stick to that one area and keep it moving. But it was very awkward. But yes, another thing I want to mention regarding Brett and his speech. He might be the best speaker under pressure I have ever seen. I'm being honest. In Big Brother history, my fault. In Big Brother history, he might be the best speaker under pressure I've ever seen. I don't think that's too far off. I don't think that's too far off. Man, you know, and see, after what he did to Rockstar, he kind of put Bailey in a position where she can't be extra defensive because she saw how Rockstar got played by Brett, right? Rockstar turned to hidden pots and pans. Rockstar got pissed off. Rockstar is like, has her mouth drawn. You know, she's doing all of this shit, right? She's being extra dramatic. But when people do that, they look a little guilty, right? But to be fair, if you're being blindsided by information that is false, you're going to look a little surprised, right? But peep game, Bailey just said, good speech, good speech. She played it as well as she could in that moment, but I think that was when she knew she fucked up telling Rachel. I think that was the moment she knew she fucked up. And I'm very happy that Brett didn't throw Faisal under the bus for telling him that. But then again, he doesn't know at this point yet that Faisal knew. But see, that's the thing. Rachel knows that Faisal knows because Bailey, for whatever reason, told her a lie that Faisal found out from Swaggy that she had it. We talked about that in the last rant, but all in all, Rachel still could have spilled the beans that Faisal could have had it though. So I'm just glad Brett formulated his speech, because I look at your speech at eviction time kind of like a rant for me, right? It's like a simplified rant. Only get 30 seconds. All right, I'm gonna go ham in this 30 seconds. Planetary devastation, pain from Naruto type shit. You know, I'm gonna just Shinra Tensei. I'm just gonna blow it all up, coach. You feel me? You know. But yeah, so I honestly do think from a speaker's perspective, man, this guy Brett, man, great casting. I might not agree with him when he's next to Winston. I might despise the two of them together. But boy, you get him away from Winston. And I'm going to be honest with you. It's hard to dislike the guy. It really is hard to dislike him. As a strictly purist of Big Brother kind of person, it's hard to dislike the guy. You know, not only did Brett expose Bailey's twist, but he also exposed the man-eaters. Also pay close attention to Rachel's face during Brett's speech. I mean, she was gulping. She was big gulping like she just left 7-Eleven. Boy, she looks salty, coach. She looks salty. As my homeboy Vic would say from Tennessee, he would say, she got that salt ball face, Smitty. You know what I'm saying? You got that salt ball face. My nigga from Nashville, he'd always say she got that salt ball face. She had the salt ball face, coach. You feel me? She had the salt ball face. It was icy, coach. Any sound game player would have read that off of Rachel's face as clear guilt. She even spoke after his speech to say, I never told him that. But here's my thing, ladies and gentlemen. She chose the wrong words because she was rattled. You know, she should have said that wasn't true instead. See, by saying I didn't tell him that, you're not really refuting the information itself as false. You're just refuting that you told him. But by saying you didn't tell him that, and by saying it to Bailey, you're exposing Bailey as truly having the twist in the first place. So I just thought Rachel should have reacted as cool, calm, and collected as Bailey did. I think if she would have did it as cool, calm, and collected as Bailey did in that situation, I think she maybe would have had a chance. Probably still went home anyway. I already told y'all she was going to go home, but I definitely didn't expect it to be 5-4. I thought it was going to be a unanimous, because I thought eventually JC would pull face and, hey, look, this is what we're doing. Don't be on the wrong side of another vote. And, you know, I thought eventually someone would keep pulling people to the side and go, hey, this is what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? But they wanted Brett gone that bad. But I just think for Faisal and Scotty's games, they both should have voted to keep Brett. It didn't make any sense for y'all to make it 7 women to 4 men. And for Scotty to agree to that, I think it's only because he knows Brett is coming after him because he's sitting Winston home. So I'll give Scotty a pass for that off strictly threat level in terms of who is going to target him. But Scotty, I'm being honest with you, you're in trouble now with Angela anyway. So it is what it is. But yeah, so so by Rachel denying who she said it to instead of denying the information itself, she validated Brett's lie just as much as Rockstar did. That's my whole point of what I'm saying. Casey and Angela, in my opinion, are really dumb to vote Rachel out here because this was a decide jury vote, okay? And if I'm a woman in this game, right, and I know the two of us are essentially a 2-person swing vote, and we can make this vote an easy 6-3, my whole perspective on this is simple. By getting rid of Brett, the jury is guaranteed now to at least be majority women. Okay, at least, because if there's only 4 men, then there's at least 5 women in the jury, right? So that at least guarantees the majority of the jury are women. So I think it was a misplay on their part by evicting Rachel for that part alone. On top of that, Rachel still is loyal to you too. And by voting out Rachel, you're going against Bailey, who's another girl who would have been on your side. So now, by doing this move, you have lost 2 people for the price of 1. That's a net negative of 2. Now Bailey has to curl back into a ball, go back to the side she's been throwing under the bus, and Faisal in them. And she's got to hope Angela doesn't target her. But knowing Bailey, she won't crawl into a ball and go back over there. She'll crawl into a ball and run over here because she'll realize, I'll never go against your wishes again. Like, I think she's tired of being on the wrong end of the votes. But when you're on the wrong end of the votes and you're the HOH who didn't get to vote, that's a whole nother level of fuck you. Because at this point, she has to know Tyler and JC flipped. The numbers don't add up this time. I mean, they didn't add up last time. It was quick maths. Big Shaq. You know what I'm saying? Skitty teak pop pop. You know what I'm saying? It was easy to peep game on the first time. Well, I think that was the second time that they flipped. But it was easy to peep game on that time. This time it is, I mean, just clear as day who flipped this time. Okay. So if I hear anyone like Bailey blaming Scotty for this, I'm going to be pissed. But knowing Bailey, she's going to make Scotty the scapegoat because she don't want to have to use her damn app. And that's my frustration in a nutshell. Bailey is going to cower just to not use her app this week. When in reality, her getting this app out the way and using it now to decide who the first juror is. I mean, there's people are talking like there has to be some type of a battle back because right now, by Caitlyn not coming back, they have ruined Big Brother's plans of having a double eviction. As of right now, I forgot the name of the Twitter feed. It's like Real Vegas something. Post it in the comments in the live chat, ladies and gentlemen, if you know who I'm talking about, the Vegas person that's on Twitter that gives all the insider information regarding production. It's important for us to document this person's handle so all of us in the RBR community can follow this person and be in the loop. But they've even said it by Caitlyn going home unexpectedly on one of the easiest competitions of all time. She is thrown off the schedule in a way where they have to have a battle back just to have a double eviction. It's one of those things. So yeah, I fully look forward. I fully look forward to them bringing someone back. But I was actually worried that they might bring Rachel back tonight because when Julie was talking to her, she's throwing all of these fucking softball questions and she's not telling her who voted her out. She even says, who do you think did it? And see, whenever Julie does that, it scares me that this person's going to have another chance to come back because she's not giving her information about the game. You know what I'm saying? So finally, when I saw the goodbye messages, I was like, okay. And finally, when Julie started alluding to, oh, Angela did you grimy? I'm like, oh, okay. It was one of those things. You know, I was worried because we know she's production spec. So all we can do is be cynical and think, oh, they're going to figure out a way to get her in this battle back. She came out that bitch mad. And see, I wanted Rachel to out some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wanted, as soon as Brent made that speech and she got eliminated, I want her to be like, hey, look. And I know some people think, you know what? It's not a sportsman-like thing to do to out the people just because you lost. You should keep that secret with you and let them continue to play the game they're playing because obviously they're better than you and they don't deserve to go out immediately after you just because they outplayed you. But I don't agree with that. If people do you as dirty as Rachel got done tonight, oh, karma's a bitch, okay? Like, remember Andrew? Remember that dentist guy from Big Brother 12 who outed Hayden with Kirsten, right? He was like, man, they have these late night talks. They're kissing in the bed. They're doing all of this stuff. Trust me. You know what I'm saying? Like I think his name was, I forgot his name. Let me not even think of that guy. He's irrelevant. But my point is, at the end of the day, though, I like it when people get outed on their way out the house, man. Out these folks, man. I don't want to see all of this nice guy stuff. I love all of you. No. Make sure if you got to leave, that it'll never be the same again if I got to leave. You know what I'm saying? That'll make them think twice before making you a pawn next time. I'm just saying. But it is what it is. Rachel had her opportunity to shit on some people, but she thought those women were loyal to her. And I feel like, Bailey, if you crawl back to these same women that just did Rachel like that, you're going to look even worse than you already look. You're going to look even worse. You're going to look like someone who's so thirsty to conform that you will write off what they just did to another woman that they were more loyal to than they are to you. For you to just write that off when you wanted her to stay, it'll make it seem like your entire HOH was some shit that you were just feeding us, some bullshit. You didn't really care if she went home or not. That's what it's going to come off as. It's going to come off as all that bullshit you've been saying to Faisal, saying about Scotty. You ain't no better than they are. So that's going to confirm that too, even though I think that's already a fact at this point. But still, and it's going to also show that you are so thirsty to be on Tyler's side, despite the fact that Tyler fucked you over once again. You're over here trying to say, I love you so much just because he doesn't use the veto. Well, do you love him that much now? That's what we need to know. Do you? And see, I would love to see a situation where Bailey uses her app to throw Tyler up, because it sounds like everyone has to jump into the app store before nominations happen in order to activate theirs. So here's my thing. Do now, for this entire week, if you're Tyler, do you hire somebody on some Boston Rob Redemption Island shit? Do you get someone to follow her around right before noms at all times? Because you know the rules. If you're Tyler, you know the rules. So as long as someone's around her at all times, you'll know that you don't have to use yours. See, this is going to turn into a game of chicken, ladies and gentlemen. So it might get very entertaining. It might get very entertaining. Okay? You feel me? But here's my thing. If production has it rigged so hard for Tyler, what's to say that Tyler, all right, like right before the ceremony starts, what's to say they cut feeds and say, oh, the Big Brother house guests are doing something really cool, really neat. They'll be back in a second. What's stopping them from cutting the feeds when he goes into the ad room to play it, assuming he's going to go up? But Bailey doesn't use her app. Okay. Now, naturally, that should burn his shit. But if we have no documented proof of him going in that room and using it and wasting it, Big Brother can always just recycle that bitch right back to him and be like, you weren't put up, so it doesn't count. So we got to be careful here. But see, that's exactly why Bailey's power. This is exactly why she should have never told nobody about what it did, because she could have backstabbed. Well, not backstabbed. Well, to her, Tyler already backstabbed her, but she could have blindsided this guy 100% if she didn't share that information with Rachel. Now, I think there's a 0% chance she blindsides him. 0%. Absolutely none. You know, and I don't think she has the chill to not come off like someone who's playing it. I mean, obviously, but yeah, man. So at the end of the day, I already mentioned that. Oh, Angela's goodbye message. You know, her goodbye messages was very heartless to Rachel. I was shocked by it. I'm sure the majority of you all watching this currently were shocked by it. I didn't understand where this vitriol came from. I mean, was this pent up over the game for a long period of time? It feels like she was fake friends with this girl for a long time. And I don't know, man. That's crazy the way she went off on her. That was crazy right there. I mean, she said their final 2 deal was as irrelevant as Rachel was during week 2. Oh my God. But Angela, someone should let you know about something. You were irrelevant as fuck until this week. What is up with the girls playing this game? The ladies playing this game, calling the kettle black when they the pot. What is up with this? I mean, the tone deafness. Like, Angela, you ain't front and center. I mean, this is the most I've discussed your game. And that's because you were petty to one of the few people who had your back. Now, who would have thought? And see, this is interesting for another reason. Those 2 girls, they bonded on being racist towards Bailey. So it just goes to show you can bond with someone doing a douchebag thing, and you still might not even like this person, but just because they're the same color as you, for now, they're best buddies with you. That's very interesting and very telling. I feel like if you're going to sit on a damn hammock with somebody and make fun of someone else's skin tone being ghetto and y'all both double down, oh, y'all better be friends for life, because y'all both gonna get this smoke when y'all get out of the house. Y'all will be linked together forever, coach. You feel me? Y'all ain't twins. You feel me? But y'all are linked. You feel it, dig me? But yeah, I don't know, coach. I don't know. But yeah, but I gotta admit, the funniest moment of the night was hearing Rachel ask Julie, Angela wasn't my friend? She actually asked Julie after she heard the confession. I mean, the GBM, the goodbye message. After she hears it, she says, what's going on? Rachel wasn't my friend? If you got to ask this question, obviously not. Like, what the fuck is... I thought that was the funniest moment of the night by far. I had to rewind that bitch 3 times. I thought this shit was hilarious, man. Hilarious. That should be a meme. Her walking out the house is the new Cody meme. I don't care what no one says. But see, to see a woman in heels walk that fucking fast is hilarious, coach. It's hilarious. Because the amount of anger, the amount of calf strength, the desire to get the fuck out of there. Man. Man, oh man, oh man. I'm having a blast. I didn't have that many notes. I didn't think I'd had this much fun, but oh man, that was hilarious. Angela wasn't my friend. What? She out here getting blindsided by Julie and shit, and Julie's just trying to throw softballs. Don't air us out for being on our magazine a year ago. Come on. We're gonna do this real nice and easy, you know. Oh man, that shit's funny, man. But yeah, so pretty much, y'all, that has been the 17th rant of Big Brother 20, loyal to a fault. So we're gonna get into answering questions now. I think that's the perfect moment to segue. Oh man, that shit was funny to me. Oh man, that's hilarious, man. All right, so get your questions ready. I'm ready. Okay. All right. Shout outs to Ghost. What do you think would make Bay use her power app? And tell me who you would like to win this new twist and who will most likely win. I would like Scotty to win, but you know who will win it. Wait, there's another twist? Did I cut off the episode too early? Can someone put in the chat what the other twist is? Because I don't know what Ghost is talking about. But to answer Ghost's question before he got to the other part of who I think will get the other twist, what do you think would make Bay use her power app? The only thing that will make Bay use her power app at this point, in my honest opinion, is if Angela threatens to target Haley. Well, matter of fact, if she threatens to target Bailey and Haley, I think she uses it. If she targets Scotty, Rockstar, or Faisal, I think Bailey doesn't use it. I think she sits on it. But I think it behooves everyone in the game, if Bailey doesn't use it, to backdoor her. Which is why you need to be careful here, Bailey. That's why I'm telling y'all, she needs to use it this week regardless, because it's outed. It's out here. Everyone knows it's here now. So use it. That way can't no one say you still got it, coach. That's the new strategy. Yes, you're leaving Tyler with the only power app left in the game, but Tyler was smart enough not to reveal the shit to everybody, okay? And granted, Bailey didn't reveal it to everybody. I know that. But I'm just saying, at the end of the day, though, he was smart enough to be discreet about his power, so he deserves to be the last one with it. It's really that simple, coach. But, yeah, I don't see her using it at all. That's really my answer to the question. I don't think anything will make her use it unless she becomes a good game player overnight and realizes I must use it to stay in this game to the end. But that's really how I feel. That's really how I feel. Do you think if this is from Rolling on the Floor Copter, or yeah, it is Rolling on the Floor Laughing Copter 89. Do you think if Tyler gets taken out sooner rather than later, that this season will be high top tier? If Tyler gets taken out late, I think it will make the season legendary. Because we'll all believe he's unstoppable when he gets taken out, right? If he gets taken out sooner, they'll have a battle back. He'll destroy anyone because there's no Swaggy C to compete against. I mean, the only thing we can truly root for is if Tyler does get blindsided this early, Faisal gets blindsided right after him. That way, Tyler has to go through Faisal to come back. But that's asking for too much. But if Tyler is out the game, I'd argue another guy would follow him right out the door because the women have too much of an advantage if Tyler leaves. So I don't know, coach. I don't know. But I think it will be better if he lasts at least to Final Four, you know, because, you know, the thing I love so much about the Final Four veto is the 4 veto matters more than the Final Four HOH. I would love to see a scenario where Tyler is in Final Four HOH, he chokes the veto, and then someone sends him home themselves. I think that would be a huge payoff for all of us. I think that would be incredible, actually. That would leapfrog this season, maybe as a top 5 season. Maybe I'm being a little prisoner of the moment here, ladies and gentlemen, but we got to be honest here. Have we had a season in a long time with this much gameplay happening before jury? I don't know. Rochella, shout outs to you, my queen. Do you think Bailey should use her power? Yeah, I just got done saying that. I don't know why I thought so hard about that. For some reason, I read it and thought it was some other shit. Dave, did you watch Caitlin's Instagram live? She basically proved you right when she said that she was given the line by production to say she loves the back door. Oh, shout outs to you, Miss Taylor. I love validation. Oh, not as much as Bailey, though. But no, though, I'm not surprised at all. I mean, you got to remember, Caitlin was the person talking to cameramen, asking them to give her hints or some type of a sign on what moves to make in the game. So when you have someone that is that out there with their strategy to the point where they don't even care if it looks like production manipulation, of course she'll admit to it after the fact. You know what I'm saying? I thought she would play her cards much closer to the chest. That way she could maybe come back in another season, though. This may complicate matters a bit because you see Swaggy is being very politically correct because he's a true fan of this game. He's willing to do whatever it takes to be back on this game, even if it's a damn family visit just to be on another episode. That's how much he cares about the game. If only Caitlyn cared as much. But that's my thoughts on that question. A hack twist. Oh, so that twist, that was one of the power apps. They're gonna bring that. I had a feeling. See, that's why I asked people. I asked them specifically last week when I was with Raven and Brand. I said, is there any chance they bring these power apps back into the future? That way they can rig it maybe in a care package or something. So I'm not shocked by this. I actually thought this might happen. But yeah, I guess I cut off the TV a little too fast in my excitement to do this rant. But yeah, so that's my thoughts on that hacker twist. Wow. Interesting. Well, who do I think is going to get this twist now to finish a Ghost question then? I think it would be such a good fit for the hacker twist to go to Brett, because if you remember in the intro of tonight's episode, they went out of their way to call Brett a cyber hacker, even though he's like a technical specialist or something in his real life. They called him a hacker today. What if they were planting the seeds that they want him to get this twist because he has Tyler's back? I'm gonna go with Brett here. He's the one who gets the hacker twist. I think he's too important now. When it comes to the narration of the game, I think he's becoming a better narrator than Tyler is, because Tyler is getting to a point where he knows his shit doesn't stink, so he doesn't really care. I mean, Tyler has even voiced on feeds that he's tired of going back and forth to the DR. Like, they asked him to go back and forth to the DR like 10 times in one day one time. And this has to be something that other house guests notice. I'm sure Bailey notices it about JC, and that's why she fears his game so much. But you know, Tyler's Teflon, so he can go in and out, in and out, in and out. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's my answer to that question. I think without a doubt the hacker, because I don't think Big Brother wants Scotty or Faisal to develop any real momentum in this game. I don't think so. So I think the hacker either goes to Casey or Brett. But I am going to put all of my money on Brett. I'm going to bet on Brett. Okay? That's my answer to that question. They say King Ubong asked a great question. Hold up. Let me scroll up for my brother. You know what I'm saying? Whenever somebody says it's a good question, I'm going to see. I'm going to see what y'all talking about. King Ubong. Angela looks like she's 50. Okay, that's not a question. I'm petty. Hold on. Okay, all right. I don't see this, brother. Hey, can you re-ask the question, King Ubong? I don't seem to find you. I'm going to answer somebody else's while I wait for yours. Pretty Jackson, no, Rachel did not make it to jury. Maxie A, looks like a new person. Welcome to the family, my good sir. Or my good lady. I don't know. Maxie, I played a lot of Soul Calibur growing up. That could be a guy. That could be a girl. I'm just going to say welcome to the family. Maxie A says, do you think this is Angela's HOH or Tyler's? 100% Tyler's. which I'm hoping for, because then Bailey uses her damn app if this is Tyler's HOH, right? But see, we're going to see Tyler isn't that sad anymore. He isn't no free agent anymore. We're going to see him upstairs with Angela after telling everyone, I'm not that close to the girls like that. I mean, we're cool and all. But okay, bro. We're going to see you upstairs a lot. All right. We'll see. You know. But I will say it is refreshing to have all of these different HOHs win every week. I think that is making this season more fun. You're not seeing like I won it this week, I'm going to win it in 2 more weeks. We're not seeing that in and out factor. So everyone is getting their chance to run the show in a way. And I think it's good because we're getting airtime of every single player equally throughout all of these weeks as a result of it. And I think that's what's making this season start to warm up on me a bit. You know, I'm going to be honest about that. But yeah, King Ubong, what's the question, my good sir? Jasmine Washington says, when does jury start? It starts now. Jury officially starts right now. Do you think Steve would have caught on to the BS in the house? Without a doubt, Tempest Prime. Without a doubt. And that's why Tyler needed him to go over Sam. He needed that to happen. Because like I said, JC already hated Steve. JC has already come out on feed saying that he didn't like Steve. He thought Steve was a little bitch. That's actually what he calls him. This isn't me putting words in his mouth. And he says that because he thinks Steve tried to bully him. Now, there's no footage to back this up at all, but that's what he says. I mean, he makes it seem like that first week before anyone was nominated, Steve was bullying him. I don't know if that's true or false, but we do know that Steve noticed the fake shit with Tyler often in his week. So I definitely think he would have peeped game on that easy as hell. Yeah, I agree with you, Sarah. Big Brother 20 so far does have good gameplay, but it's just unfortunate that Bailey isn't one of the players that is playing good. You feel me? That's the unfortunate part. You feel me? But yeah, my brother King Ubong, if you could please repost that question. It sounds like it was a good question, and I know my chat I know my chat don't just give people credit for no reason, so you deserve it. So I would like to answer it if you could repost it. Oh, here it is. Oh no, wait. He says, does Bay's game have any chance of surviving past the next 2 weeks, my brother? Yes. If she uses her app this week, she can survive 2 weeks. If she doesn't use it this week, she's gone before next week. I'm calling it. If you do not use that app, you're getting backdoored, Bailey. Tyler is going to be picked for another veto. And if he knows winning that veto ensures that you go, oh, he gonna fight for that shit. He gonna fight for that shit like he Achilles in Sparta. You feel it, dig me? Like, please believe. He finna come in and he finna come to fuck. My name is Buck and I came here to fuck. On some Kill Bill type shit. He gonna come to fuck, coach. He ain't playing games, okay? Sarah says, is Julie leaving Big Brother due to philandering husband? Well, it seemed like Julie is going with the punches a little bit. You know, she ain't miss a beat, she ain't miss an episode. She like, come for me, bitches. You know, Julie is almost like on some Helen of Troy type shit. I'm not trying to keep giving y'all these Troy references, but it's almost like Julie is like, you know what? Everything around me could be burning to the ground, but I'm not gonna blame my husband for this at all. It wasn't his fault for this shit, you know. It's kind of that going on with Julie. You know, she's in a huge denial, but the self-hate is why. You feel it, dig me, coach. All right, let me scroll up a little bit to try to see. Son of Shango. Besides using her power app, do you think there is anything else that Bailey can do to redeem herself in this game? Ooh, that's a great question. The only way Bailey can redeem herself in this game without using her app, and actually, this is something I want to bring up. What if Bailey gets eliminated before using her app? Wins the battle back? Is she allowed to keep using the app? I just thought of that with that question. Any question that could lead me to an idea like that, I got to give Son of Shango some credit here. But yes, I think if she doesn't use her power, gets eliminated, wins battle back, comes back like a woman scorned trying to get rid of Tyler and still has her app, I think that'll do it. And even if she doesn't have her app and just comes back and has a different outlook on the game, yes, she can redeem herself. Yes. And she would have a lot of information from the jury house. Hopefully, if she's not the first motherfucker in there, because if she's the first motherfucker in there, she a sociopath that ain't talked to nobody in a week. You feel it, Davey? You always want to be at least the second jury member. You don't want to be the first. When you're the first, boy, you were socially awkward. But yeah, to answer your question, though, honestly, I think that's the only way she could redeem herself, unless she can get Angela to go after Tyler. That's the other move. If she could convince Angela to do something against her best interest, I mean, she just got rid of Rachel, which was against her best interest. So I feel like if she can convince her that this Girls Alliance thing needs to keep on trucking, and if she can convince her that she needs to target Tyler over Faisal and Scotty, I think it's impossible. I think Faisal's going up. Definitely. Scotty might be a backdoor, but I think they're going to want to ensure one of them two goes, and that's why Scotty and Faisal must be put on the block together. That's my truly opinion. Oh, Maxington, my fault, family. You gotta understand, bro. You ain't got no picture. It look purple and shit. I ain't want to do you like that. You know what I'm saying? So I tried to, I tried to make you your sexuality ambiguous. But no, though. Okay, so King Uban's question was, why does Faute not even fathom that Tyler is against them? Is his social game that good, or they are that dumb? I think it's a mixture of Tyler being good, production being his defensive tourney, and to a certain degree, Faute being a little dumb. But when one of your members doesn't want to be in the group, it's easy for the message to get a little messed up, a little convoluted, okay? And that's the problem. See, if Bailey was all in, never even considered this flip shit when she was in the have-not room, like, I mean, it's okay to tell them one thing, but when you volunteer information to them that goes against your allies' best interest, that's when I know that you're flipping. But, you know, at the end of the day, if Bailey would have played it in a more sound way, then I definitely think there's a chance that that Faute isn't that dumb, because Bailey is the person who has to carry the mantle for Swaggy. She's playing for her and Swaggy's games, especially if she's pregnant. People say, I don't want her playing for Swaggy. I want her playing for herself. I want her playing for herself too, my good sir, my good ma'am. But at the end of the day, though, she's playing for 3 if she's pregnant. That's what I'm saying. So I want her to have at least remember what these people did to her child's father, if there's a child. But still, I want her to keep that energy, you know, because this energy that we're seeing from her towards her allies, she does not show that towards Tyler. And if she does show it towards him, it's few and far between, man. And I feel like Tyler has been begging for this smoke. And I think if Bailey brings it to him, Tyler can't respond back, because he'll look like someone who might be a little bit domestic abusive, okay? So he can't really reply back and shoot back at her. So he's going to have to rely on someone like Angela to shoot back at her. You feel it, dig me? But this is why I've said I'm going to leave the door open on Bailey maybe redeeming herself. But that doesn't mean she wasn't a good player. That doesn't mean she's not a bad player. She's still a bad player. Bad players can redeem themselves and be decent, but she'll never be considered a good player in my book. She could play 3 times. She won't be a good player in my book. She won't. This was her chance to go in with a clean slate. Now, if she plays any season in the future, she's going to get day bond as soon as she hits jury. Okay, I'll take 5 more questions. Deadwalk asks, with Brett being the wild card, do you think it's wise for the other team to start rallying to Sam and JC at this point in the game, considering they give 2 extra numbers to the other side? Well, I'd argue Bailey has been trying to do this with Sam over the past week. The problem is Tyler got Sam to vote Rachel out too quickly. And here's my thing. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, isn't Sam the one preaching female empowerment, but she's doing whatever a guy tells her to get out a woman at that? So I think Bailey is maybe too confident in Sam being that cool with her. I think Sam likes her for now. But once Tyler gets in her head and starts telling her, oh, you know, Bailey has the app. You know, she's trying to use it against us. You know, she made up a lie about me trying to backdoor Angela. You know, once he starts getting in Sam's head, Sam will turn on Bailey just the same. Just the same. So let's not fall into this trap thinking Sam is flippable. She's not flippable because she's Tyler's ride or die, and for all intents and purposes. I think she's more of Tyler's ride or die than Brett is. I think Tyler knows that Sam doesn't understand the game enough to convey her moves, and that's the person he wants to sit at the end with. And she, in some ways, is his Caitlyn now. But it's even better for Tyler because it's not a romance to it. He don't have to flirt. He can just tell her some information and dip the hell off and act like he's a free agent again. But in terms of JC's game is all about evening the side. So I fully expect this week for him to be all up Tyler's ass, all up Rachel's ass. I mean, not Rachel, all up Angela's ass, all up Casey's ass, preaching his LGBT, all this other shit. He's going to be preaching that extra heavy. And he's going to be doing all of the things that Bailey was scared of him doing last week when she was talking to Faisal. But if JC can repay the favor to Faisal and keep Faisal off the block initially, Faisal gets picked for veto and wins it, keeps noms the same, or even uses the veto. But I think they'll probably threaten to throw up Haley if he uses it. But at the end of the day, if JC can just keep Faisal off the initial nominations, then I think JC repays him tenfold this week. And that's all that matters at this point. Faisal wanted JC to stay so he could be working for them in this moment. Now, if I'm JC, the smartest play for me to do is to focus Angela's sights on women. So it's going to be up to JC. I know JC doesn't like Rockstar, so he'll definitely throw Rockstar out there because he knows Angela don't like Rockstar. So actually, I think nominations will probably be Faisal and Rockstar. The more I think about it, because I think Scotty has these people shook. I think they're scared to give him a chance at a veto after he's just shitted on Brett in the stacking a cup competition when you're dizzy and shit. After he did that, I mean, did you see the way Scotty was swinging around that bitch? He was swinging around that bitch like when we were kids in the monkey bars, when we knew even if we bust our shit, we'll be fine. Like, you know, that's back when your recovery at 99 when you were a kid. You could injure yourself real bad and, you know, scab something or scrape something, and you'll be right back up like nothing happened. The older you get, the more you go, on the Peter Griffin side of the game. You feel me? But yeah, so pretty much that's my response to that. Okay, 4 more questions, ladies and gentlemen. They say feeds are down. Wonder why. That is interesting. Why would feeds be down if the HOH is already crowned? Something must be going on. Something is going on. Do they got them competing for that twist right now? Because is this hacker twist in America's vote thing, or is this some shit like you could compete for it? I could definitely see Big Brother saying, "Hey, let's make them compete for this shit right now. Let's go." That way we have something to show them on Sunday. I don't know, but I could see it. Okay, but why would you want everyone competing for a power app if all the other power apps are supposed to be a secret? Why make this one out in the open? That's a great question. I'm not sure. Maybe they'll do it in the vein that they did it in Big Brother All Stars when they had to guess a wolf in sheep's clothing or something like that, or you reap what you sow or whatever the answer to that shit was that Mike Boogie got correct. What if they do it that way? I think that'll be smart. Or the one that they did with the one-way round trip ticket with Paul when everyone had to go in and guess shit in that one little cubby hole. And that was really weird in 18. That was really weird, you know. But yeah, so I'm not sure, but you know, I don't know. Oh, it is a competition. It is a competition. Okay, thank you for that, Ubong. I wasn't sure. He said Swaggy C is back in the house, y'all. Just kidding. You funny as shit. All right, Starlight Sparkle, definitely one of the OGs of the channel. Do you think Angela will go after level 6 players that's not pulling their weight? No, because the only level 6 players left are all pulling their weight. Brett keeps all the secrets. He's a closed book. Tyler, he's playing borderline flawless game. Casey, she is the conduit to Bailey, and she's the conduit to JC. So I don't see her turning on level 6 at all. It would do nothing for her gameplay to turn on level 6. It would ruin her votes at the end of the game. It doesn't make any sense for her to turn on level 6. So I fully expect her to go after Falte hard. And I think Faisal and Rockstar will be her noms because those are 2 people she has a legit problem with directly, and she can get away with it. And if Faisal wins veto, oh, backdoor Scotty. You feel me? I think it sounds like that's going to happen. I think it feels like that's going to happen. And for everyone in this house on the Falte side to now know about Bailey's twist, if Bailey does not use it and Faisal winds up on that block, and he was the one who kept that damn secret the longest, and he's the one who's been telling Bailey for the longest that they need to get out Angela, Faisal's going to take this very personally, ladies and gentlemen, especially after Bailey's been talking down to him over the past week. So we could get a blow up here. We could get a fight between, and I don't mean a physical fight, but we could get some feeds gold here. And see, Haley's going to have to choose a side here because Haley, if Bailey doesn't use her app to protect Faisal, then she's also not using this app to protect you by proxy because that's your shield. So this could turn into a situation where everyone on the Falte side just alienate Bailey when she doesn't use it because they'll be like, this was the week to use it. If you don't use it now, then we're down a number. And if we're down a number, we might all get pagonged. So she has to use it this week. I'm going to keep driving that point home. If she doesn't use it this week, she is showing her true colors to everyone in the game. And if she does use it, she at least appears like a sound game player. You know, but all right, we got 3 more questions left. There's a battle back. Sorry, didn't watch this episode. Jasmine Washington, it's not necessarily a battle back confirmed. I just have suspicions that because Caitlyn never coming back with her battle back threw off the schedule. So now we can't have no double evictions. What's a Big Brother season in this era without a double at least, right? It doesn't exist. So they're going to have to do a battle back. And I think they're possibly doing this hacker shit, throwing that into the loop as well. That way they can guarantee that the gameplay will have higher stakes. And by having higher stakes, more people will probably be bitter towards the end of the game, leading to a great jury phase, leading to a great battle back, because there'll be a lot of people with a lot of reasons to come back, a lot of motivations. So I think all of these things are playing a role in this thought process. Oh, Myron Williams. I don't think I ever seen you on this channel. Welcome to the family, my good sir. Why would production allow Bay to continue to play if they thought she was pregnant? Can you imagine what would happen if she had a miscarriage as the result of a comp? Ooh, you're right about that. That would be a lawsuit, an easy one, an easy lawsuit. But you also have to take into account, my good sir, that in this era of the Me Too movement, you are not allowed to tell a woman how to have her baby. You're not allowed to tell a woman who could be pregnant or could not be how to move around with her said baby. Okay, like it's to the point now where if a woman wants to breastfeed her child in public, you're almost shamed upon if you tell her to go to a private room to do that. You know, we're at that point now. You know what I'm saying? So I think production's a little scared to jump into that fray, especially when CBS has enough problems with the Me Too movement right now as it is. You see where I'm getting to? They can't really afford to tell Bailey what she can or cannot do, and they can't force her to take no pill either. So it is what it is. But honestly, I don't think they show Bailey's family with a Swaggy C visiting unless they want this to be a recurring thing. They have a baby, they come back in future seasons. Hey, here's the family, you know. And because Big Brother is notoriously known for editing Black people differently and making us look bad, it will finally look good for them to actually have a first couple of our community. So this is a strategic political move. Don't get the game twisted. If Bailey uses the app, who should she nominate? From Darian Green, another fresh face that I don't think I've ever seen in the live chat. Welcome to the family as well, my good sir, DG. If she uses the app, who should be nominated? Tyler, Brett. Get the job done, Bailey. Get the job done. You could have did this last week. I said this last week. Tyler is the only damn pawn that guarantees Brett goes. He's the only one. Because he has production on his side, and the women, they might like Brett, but they know that Tyler takes them furthest. So at the end of the day, yeah, 100%, 100%. I think it has to be Brett and Tyler. Yeah, it has to be Brett and Tyler. There's no other option here. And see, I could see her being mad at JC and making it Brett and JC and just completely choking her power. I could see it. I could see it. So my answer is Tyler, Brett. What I think would happen, Brett, JC. So that's my answer to that question. If she is preggo, CBS will work around it. Yeah, you got a point there. You got a point. Bailey is telling Sam about her power now? Oh, I guess feeds just came back. Oh, shit. It's cracking, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we got 2 questions left because y'all know me. I'm in a rush to get to these feeds my days. So let's get it popping, coach. You feel me? I'm gone. Megan Curley. Welcome, Megan, to the channel. She says, who are the floaters this season? The floaters this season are JC. I mean, is JC. My fault. That's bad grammar. Let me correct myself. It's JC. That's the only floater in the game. But let me say this. He is playing one of the best floater games we've seen. Really. People say, oh, Paris was a floater. Paris was on a side that got decimated to the point where she had to be a damn floater. That don't count. Okay? You know, when you got a best friend that you play with, that you run to with information, that ain't really a floater. Now, I know what you're thinking, Dave. Well, he does that with Tyler. He does that with Tyler. Yeah, he does do that with Tyler, but he also does it with Faisal. And when you do it with multiple different people, it's because you are a floater. And you're trying to keep all these people thinking that you're staunch, whatever their side is, okay? So that's why I'm going to give him credit. He is a floater, but he's playing the game of someone who is on a side when it's convenient. But I mean, the definition of a floater is someone who floats to the power. So whenever a new HOH is crowned, that's how JC plays week to week. So yes, he is the only floater in the game, in my opinion. I don't even think Casey is a floater. The reason why I don't think Casey is a floater because she was in level 6. I don't count that as floating. Bailey looks like she's richer than Vanessa. Hell no. Everyone's saying Bailey's not pregnant. Hey, Bailey admitted to being late with her period. Okay, I'm just saying she's referring to people. Swaggy's a baby daddy. Okay, there's a lot of stuff that's building up to this. Okay, we're not the only ones who have this theory, by the way. So I don't want to act like this is a fact or this is fiction. I'm just giving you what I think. It's pure speculation. One more question left, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm going to let y'all go. And I will definitely try my best to see y'all on Monday this time, okay? Hopefully it ain't the same amount of projects. You feel me? Okay, Taylor Mays. Who do you think is going to be the one to take Tyler out of the game if he gets evicted? Oh, that's a great question to end this on, ladies and gentlemen. If my prediction of Tyler losing the Final Four happens, you know what? I think if someone gets out Tyler, it's got to be someone he doesn't see doing it. It's got to be someone he's willing to go to the end of the world with that has the ability to be cutthroat. Honestly, I think Tyler gets eliminated by JC. I don't know. For some reason, because see, everyone's like, oh, Brett gonna be at the end with Tyler. My thing is, if they both at the end, I don't think they take each other out. I think Tyler would take him out, but I think there's a chance Brett wouldn't take him out. But I do think there's a high chance Brett takes him. You know what? JC doesn't make it to the end. Yeah, I'm picking Brett. Brett's gonna take him out. Brett has all the tools. He has all the tools. And by Tyler not using this veto on him this past week, by letting shit ride, now Brett has an excuse when he wins veto in the Final Four to not save your ass. Ooh, you talk about poetic justice, coach. But this has been the 17th rant of Recency Bias Radio, where no one is safe from criticism, loyal to a fault. I am your humble host, Dave Smith. Thank you all for tuning in and watching, whether it's on demand or live. If you could, please like, share, and subscribe. And on the right side of my channel's page is that bell. Just click that thing, ding, and you could be here with the most lit live chat in Big Brother 20 history, bar none. I truly appreciate all of y'all coming through tonight and showing some love. I'm going to try to be back with y'all in y'all airwaves on Monday night, okay? Y'all have my word here. I'm gonna be there, okay? And we're gonna talk this shit some more. You feel me? But I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Y'all stay safe. It's crazy out here in these streets. So drive carefully, drive sober. Don't text and drive. You know what I'm saying? Have a good time. You know what I'm saying? But just be safe. That's all that matters. Because I need y'all to come back to me so we can discuss as a family what's going on. You feel me? But yes, I truly appreciate y'all. Mighty Mods, I'm going to salute y'all one time because I haven't done it yet. Y'all thought I was going to forget about y'all? Come on, man. You know I got y'all back like Bruce Lee got mine. You feel it, dig me? But y'all be smooth and y'all have a great night. I'm out.